Hi. Continuing to look at step one, which is we admitted we were powerless over ourselves, that our lives had become unmanageable. When I think back to the end of my drinking days, I was causing damage to everybody, right and left. I wasn't contributing to anyone's life, and really all I wanted was for God to just take me home. And to hear those words from the mouth of a Christian who had known God since she was a little girl, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. I was a wreck. And how did that happen? It really did take me stumbling into AA just to find out what the definition of an alcoholic was, to realize that I was one. And I never suffered any of the traumatic big things that usually get people to AA. I wasn't court ordered. I'd never even had a DUI. No one in my life knew how much I was drinking because I drank at home alone in the basement right before I passed out. And it was my life was a wreck. It really was. So when I decided to add more material to step one, I'm going to take you to my link, and I'll post this at the end. What am I living for? Which is the question that brought me up short. And it's Thomas Merton has a statement that says, if you want to identify me, ask me not where I live or what I like to eat or how I comb my hair, but ask me what I think I'm living for in detail. Ask me what I think is keeping me from living fully the thing that I want to live for. And I copied that down in my journal and couldn't come up with any kind of an answer. So typically, when I don't know the answer, I decide it's a stupid question, right? But it haunted me. And I think it was God manipulating the curtain on my mind so that I would start to realize that a question like that cannot be answered, it means that there's a big problem. And so I started wanting God to show me what I should live for, show me why He even created me, actually. And that takes us to another link that I'm going to post at the end. The steps 1, 2, and 3, when I came into AA, I thought, oh, I'm a Christian, I can skip those steps. Easy peasy, right? Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Well, sure. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Well, yeah, I did that a long time ago. So I thought I came in on step 4, but thankfully I was able to go back to 1, 2, and 3 after I was on step 9 before I went back and took a really solid look at these steps. So that's why I want to bring some of these things to the table right at the outset. And as a person who has found joy and peace and serenity, I want to read to you some of the results of doing the steps, and these are found on page 83 of the AA textbook. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we're halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the words serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. And again, that's on pages 83 and 84 of the Alcoholics Anonymous textbook. I'm a full-time RVer, and when I first bought my fifth wheel, I had some real issues with keeping the fifth wheel trailer and the truck connected. And I have to laugh because I have to think that that's kind of how my life was. I mean, I've dropped the fifth wheel 3 times. Once didn't, the first 2 times didn't cause any damage. The third time, I crushed the tailgate of the truck and caused some damage to the front lip of the trailer. And it was through that process and talking to my son, who was an independent trucker at the time, that I realized I just didn't understand how it all worked. I thought I did. I mean, I did what they showed me at the yard when they showed me how to hook up once. But when I tried to do it, I was doing something that didn't work. And that's really how I have felt about the program of the 12 steps. It has shown me, just little bite by bite, how to live a Christian life, or how to live it doesn't matter what your religion is. This shows you a pattern for living that in my experience and the experience of millions of people out there, it really does work. And I couldn't get that any other way. And I know I'm not the best student in the world, and I'm still a student. I'm not really a teacher of the steps. I'm a fellow student. And these steps really helped me. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I finally found out that what I had to do was just simply go out and buy a padlock. There was a hole conveniently placed in the hitch that if I could get a padlock in there and secure that, it couldn't fall off. Such a simple thing. And for me, that's how the steps work. It hooks me up to the power of God that I didn't have in my life. And I was making a terrible mess of my life. I didn't even want to live it. So I recommend the steps. I hope that the links that I post at the end will illustrate this better than my mumblings here. And thank you for listening to me.